All right, we're back down here at it again. So, with some very good recommendations, even though the CO2 test after 5 shots, technically I think it was 6, it was the 5th shot I fired, but I did have that first dry fire that I did for safety before putting ammo in it. Wanted to make sure if it was going to grenade, there wasn't ammo in it, ball bearings. So I decided not to test it with HPA because there was still that leak and the bolt was sticking. However, to get more data, because we like data, or is it data? Anyways, I like data. I did pump up my 3000 psi tank, which is supposed to be regulated at 800 psi output. I tested it once with this gauge set up before. But I'm going to test it again just to make certain before I put it on the gun and we see what it does here. So let's go ahead and we have 3000 on the tanks gauge. Then I'm going to see what this mini gauge and more importantly the larger, hopefully more accurate measurement comes up with. So let's turn this down and see what we have. And great, I have a leak out of one of my fittings. I just put this thing together. All right, it's a slow leak. It looks like 6, 7. Actually, looks like, well, won't worry about that one, I guess. Let me 6, 7. There's 8. Yeah, so we're getting about, we're not even getting 800 psi out of this bottle. And it's leaking, so. Well, the bottle's not leaking. And let's see. Okay, I just threw this together really quick. I'm probably going to need to take it apart and seal it all. I just wanted to make sure that all the geometries were going to work out fine with this. Figured I could put a couple disconnects on it, and after watching Sean's short, I think it was earlier today, very good safety conscious video there. Very important. Just kind of reminds you to be vigilant when it comes to, or diligent when it comes to your safety. And I know I need to know that. Be reminded of that quite often. This hobby can be a little dangerous. So it looks like it's really somewhere more around 750, but it's hard for me to say. The first time I put this on, I had the plumbing setup was a little different. It was just that remote tank line, and it was holding just below 800 psi. So this regulator by no means is putting out a rock solid 800. So we're probably a little less than that. So we'll keep that in mind as well. What did I lose for pressure on this? Actually, it's not really showing that I lost any pressure, so maybe I'll do another quick little stab at this here and see what it comes up to. Yeah, just under 800. Let me go ahead and put the slide check back on, and let's try it again. So what we have here, we have 6, 7, 8, and then the liquid gets into a 900. Okay, so between 6 and 900, I think it was just under 800. Let's try it again here. Yeah, it's 800. Yep. All right, so tank's been verified. It is an 800 psi output tank. It's full, so we should be. Let me just make sure this is all bleeding off here. Yeah, nope. Yeah, it's coming off fine. Yeah, so it's a full tank, so I think we're good to go on this. Speed things up a little bit, actually. Keep this down here, this way it's handy. I can check these tanks every once in a while. It's, if nothing else, it's also good just to verify the output on it. Like Jordan said, you got the burst caps there, the burst discs. So, you know, you always got that. So, all right. We have here, safety's on. All right, safety's off. Okay. I had no leaks in the gun, at least, you know, pressurizing it. I had no leaks with the gun until I fired it the 5th time. So I know everything else is leak free. The rear ASA buttstock adapter, that is leak free, and I also Loctited that on last night when I put it back together. The GOG on and off doesn't seem to be leaking. I did have a problem with it a few videos ago, but I think I got that nailed down, relubricated it, and tightened it up good. There is absolutely nothing in this handle. No CO2, no CO2 in there at all. Not even an empty at this point. And the restrictor is still in there that came with the gun. So let's go ahead and air it up. And then I'll put some ammo in it. All right. Make sure this thing's good and tight. Oop. That's good and tight. All right. Still sitting at 3,000 PSI. Okay. I'm going to turn on the GOG first before I put any ammo in it, and also check it again for any sounds or signs of any internal leaking. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll turn this on. Okay, you could hear the bolt. No leaks that I can hear, so looks like we're doing good. We'll get the X radar ready. I didn't put my hand grip on, but that's all right. Can't really hold it much anyways when I gotta hold the X radar. So, all right, let's go ahead and put some steel ball bearings in. And these are the 8.4 gram, 12.7 millimeter, which is what I've been testing with all along, whether CO2 or high pressure air. All right, the cylinder feels good. Feels like it's got good tension on it, so I think the barrel spring's fine. Nothing's moved out of place since the earlier testing. So I think we're good to go. All right. We're gonna go with mag 1, shot 1, 800 PSI or just below. HPA. Okay, fired without any leaks. 158 feet per second. I don't know why I keep wanting to say PSI. Got PSI on the brain. 158 feet per second. That is awful. Probably because I don't have all that volume yet until I drill out that restrictor and have all that extra volume. But I think the most I got was 170 feet per second yesterday when I was doing this. So shot number 2, let's see. It didn't off gas yet, so let's see what happens. Shot number 2. on mag 1. Well, that's much better, but obviously it needs to come up 196 feet per second. Okay, that's coming up. There still might be quite a bit of oil in here, so my hot shots may come, 2 or 3 shots later. All right, and here's shot 3, mag 1. 164 feet per second. And we got shot number 4. 166 feet per second. Shot number 5. 160 feet per second. With that shot, it felt a little weird. The trigger kind of vibrated a little bit afterwards, like I got a little trigger slap, something that I haven't experienced since I used to shoot my AK. That thing used to come back and slap you pretty hard. Yeah, that was different. There's one more shot left in this. It didn't double fire or anything. Obviously, it's a revolver, so let's see. We got about, I guess, about 2,500 PSI left in the bottle. This is only a 13 CI bottle, so it's not the largest bottle in town, but pretty good. Much better than the other day when I got 2 shots out of it and drained the whole 3,000, or leaked it all out. So I'd say this is better so far. Let's go with shot number 6 and see what we get. 182 feet per second. 6 shots. So I got all 6 shots out of it. I'm optimistic. Yeah, maybe all that issue I was getting earlier was just the CO2 depleting in it, and it was just acting like that. I mean, like I said, brand new, this marker, brand new out of the box. This torpedo. They say it's rated for 15 joules, with no tampering with it whatsoever, out of the box. The last shot that gun would fire on CO2 in the handle, just in the handle alone, and that was even before. Was it before I put the rear adapter? No, I think I had the rear ASA adapter on, but it was plugged. So, in all honesty, to be fair, there was some modification. But just CO2 through the handle. From day one, it always had that weird, last shot always kind of off-gassed a little bit. It would fire, you get this weird little off-gas, and then you'd have dead trigger after that. And you were done with the CO2. So, there's that. Okay, there's the fact that that's always really kind of happened from the beginning. Now, like you were saying, Sean, is it because because the little extra capacity that you're getting through the rear ASA buttstock adapter, even when it was plugged? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, that sounds like as good of an explanation than I can come up with. I mean, it is the only, at that point, it would have been the only modification I had on the gun. So I'll buy that. What I'm really excited about is that maybe these modifications did help. I mean, clearly they did, because I got 0 off-gassing. Like completely 0. I mean, you guys just heard it, you just saw it. If you watched the video before from yesterday, the thing was just freaking pissing out until the bolt finally would come back in and the pin would seal into the valve. And that was with that shorter pin that was very loose and sloppy. Now I got a real snug, tight, factory length Umarex TR50 pin in there with an Umarex TR50 bolt spring. I don't know. I'm happy with this. If it continues to work this way, after I drill that restrictor out and I get some additional volume for the HPA, this thing might be a beast after all. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, but I'm a little happy. I'm glad I didn't just call it quits. Thank you so much for kind of giving me a little push, Sean, to to try it again with the 800. Honestly, I thought I was just going to shelf this thing until I could come up with figure out a stronger spring. So thank you very much with that. I will put these numbers in, and I think I'm going to move forward with drilling that restrictor at some point, maybe tonight. Do some more testing with it tomorrow like I did with the TR50, the Umerix. That worked out great. I mean, that gun's shooting on 1100. It's shooting like steel ball bearings. I think I was getting like about 65 joules. So that's 50 caliber. That's pretty nice. Can't wait to go to the range, to the club, and shoot it outdoors and see what kind of distance and accuracy I can get out of it. I'd love to get actually a longer barrel, but one of those longer sniper barrels, but maybe, preferably something that's actually rifled, I think would be nice, just to get a little bit more accuracy out of it. I mean, I know I'm shooting balls, right? But with this gun, it could be. I mean, I can shoot both of these guns. I can shoot shaped rounds in it, so shaped ammunition. And yeah, and then did you see Sterling's video? I mean, he made a good point. No one's pointed out that the Intrabuster 2, he was shooting his I forget what he called them, those steel shaped rounds, but that's awesome. So I got one on pre-order. You can't beat it for $225. Yeah, you bet. I pre-ordered one. So whenever that comes in, I'll be playing around with that too. That looks pretty cool. So anyways, I'm rambling on like I usually do. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing processed and updated before it gets too much longer. Thanks, guys.